Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here, coming at you with game number 3 of what is proving to be a very exciting, as expected, very exciting quarterfinal matchup between Reach, the Hero Toss, and the Management Magician of GoRush. Absolutely excellent game so far. Looking forward to this game as well, which is going to be on Forte. Pausing for a little drink of water. I moved my mic away from. I moved my mouth away from the mic to breathe. It's like Tezonde was kind of like a viral meme video, like before there really were, right? Like, wasn't he pre-YouTube or something like that? Maybe he was on. Maybe he was on like early YouTube days. Do you guys remember that though, when there used to be videos that actually went viral without YouTube? And I remember my experience was that was on my college campus. People would have their computers open. Some people had their whole computer open, but usually not. Usually people would open up like a file folder open to the network, and then the college campus network, the network was like hundreds of people, and so you could browse hundreds of people's like open boxes basically, and if they put videos in there or MP3s or whatever, you could just grab them from anyone, and it was, you know, super fast local internet, so, or local Ethernet, what would we call a LAN? It was LAN. So you could just grab stuff. Anyway, so I remember watching random weird videos that we would just like look around on people's computers and be like, oh, what is this random video? I'm gonna open it up. And surprisingly, that never backfired, actually, because you would expect people to put things that you didn't want to see on their computers and name it like, you know, GoRush versus Reach Game 3 .exe and see what happens. I don't know. That shit. If I ever become a hacker and I make a virus, I'm gonna call it GoRush versus Reach Game 3.exe. Oh man. I'm losing it, guys. Guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, did that say the survivor? Is that what his cheer pool said? Is it because he's the last surviving Protoss player? It might be. In any case, this is StarCraft. This is not a random weird viral video from college. And Reach has gone for 2 gateways again, in a nice little spot where he can actually kind of use it as a wall. A single Zealot chilling between those 2 gateways will form a perfect wall against some sort of Zergling counterattack. The Zealot probe combo coming in here, going after the drones, forced to pull the drones away. He does have the spawning pool. The Zerglings are still morphing though, so he's got to just kind of delay a little bit and try and save those drones for just a moment. Every single drone running out of the base while those Zerglings in the Sunken Colony are morphing. Now the Zerglings are popping out. They're going to be able to deal with that, of course, with the Sunken Colony as well. And I believe GoRush, yeah, GoRush does have an expansion base this time around. Oh, he's going to get a drone. He does get a drone. The probe goes down in response, though. 1 worker for 1 worker is the trade. And he's actually trapped the Zealot in a spot where the Sunken Colony can hit it. So the Zealot goes down very quickly. Reach running around with these other 2 Zealots, not sure where exactly he wants to go. I looked like he was maybe thinking about going up north to try and... Actually, I'm not sure where. I don't think there's a way to get to that expansion up to that north. No, there's only the 1 choke point here, which we see these 4 Zealots now marching in. He may have been looking to see if there was backstab Zerglings up to the north or something like that he wanted to deal with. So 4 Zealots now roaming in here, and I think he knows that, like, you know, it's obvious what's going on, and GoRush is going to respond to this. So I think he knows that he's not going to accomplish a lot. He's going to build a lot of Zerglings. But that's kind of the point also. If you can get your opponent to build a bunch of Zerglings, they're not building drones. They're not getting their economy going. Whereas you as the Protoss can macro probes and Zealots at the same time. I mean, I guess you could trade off building Zerglings and drones, obviously. But, you know, the way the macro system works for Protoss, if you can force the Zerg to be more defensive and overcommit to defenses instead of econ, it gets you an advantage later on. He, of course, built that wall at his choke point as well, so that Reach can now get his own expansion up. and try and get ahead of the economy on that sense as well. So Reach is now very well defended against the counterattack. He's forced a lot of Zerglings instead of drones. He forced a lot of drones to not be mining for a while as they were running around for dear life. So I think a very successful early pressure attack here by Reach. Not really losing much in the process. And he's going to be able to get his expansion going. Of course, we are going to see some counter pressure here from GoRush probably before too long. Oh, I guess we could see it. We could see counter pressure. I'm not sure. Actually, maybe not, because I feel like maybe GoRush has actually built so many Zerglings already that he just needs to drone right now. And building more Zerglings or Hydralisk Den and going for Hydras or something like that just might not be feasible. Actually, oh, I could almost read that, but I could never read him fast enough. Something about, I think that was something about Protoss though. So I think that was a support for Reach as the Protoss hero, maybe something on those lines. In any case, +1 weapons being upgraded as well for those zealots. So my point though, what I was thinking of is that Reach may lose those gateways due to some counter pressure here, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal in the long run. You can see his tech buildings actually being built right behind there as well. This map, your main base doesn't have very much space, not much real estate, so I'm not surprised to see him kind of building his tech buildings kind of out towards the front. That means you can also protect your tech buildings a little bit more. His Stargate's going to be near the cannons that he's built at his front, so if there's some sort of early Mutalisk attack, you know, they can't like camp out on top of his Stargates in another base and kill Corsairs or something like that. The Corsairs will be able to have a little bit more defense. And he's building cannons in his main base, and he's going to probably build a couple cannons in the expansion, at least one as well, in anticipation of that possibility of the Mutalisk attack, which could be very devastating if it gets in there too far into your base. Actually sending a Dragoon up to his expansion, which, you know, is pretty much as good as a cannon. A little bit more mobile. Anyway, excuse me. Point being, Reach is off to the races. He's got cannons in all of his spots. He's well defended. He's not going to die to anything too cheesy right now. His front door is defended as well. He can pull that Dragoon off and send it back to the front lines if need be. You know, GoRush's economy is a little bit stifled. I think at this point stifled is appropriate because he has gotten it up and running. He's managed to saturate his bases pretty well with drones. He's gotten his Spire up as well. So I think GoRush's economy is still looking pretty good. I still feel like Reach has a little bit of an advantage though at this point, but it's hard to really say. And here we see Reach's first-person view as he flies this Corsair in there, spots the Spire, immediately turns around and says, "Okay, I can't lose this Corsair to Scourge. I need to wait until I have 5 or 6 Corsairs together, and then they'll be strong enough to get out on the map." And so he's actually, looks like he's still hunting around for Overlords, maybe, but he immediately turned around. That's all he wanted to see. What's the tech? He saw the Spire tech, and then now he says, okay, I need to get back out of here. Building a second Stargate as well. Very clever, very smart idea. If he thinks his opponent is going for heavy air, go for heavy air right back. If you can win the air superiority by having 2 Stargate Corsairs building up, you know, with 2 Stargates building Corsairs, you can afford to lose 1 or 2 to Scourge, and you can still maintain the air superiority, and you make yourself not vulnerable to those attacks. Now, there is a Hydralisk Den and a Evolution Chamber in the back. That's very interesting. What's he going to build? Oh, we can't see. His face is covering the upgrade, so we didn't exactly see what he upgraded at that Evolution Chamber. We did see him click on it when it was completed. Possibly Carapace again. We saw him go for the Carapace in the last game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that a second time, since this is a very similar build with somewhat low economy lurkers. And we saw them with +2 Carapace before a single attack upgrade was made on his units. So we're probably going to see the same thing again, is kind of what I'm expecting here. So the Spire has just been used as a deterrent, get some Scourge out in the map, get some vision on the map. Scourger, of course, very good. Oh, he does catch the Corsair that was scouting around. Not going to hurt as much as it would if Reach had 1 Stargate, but it's still not great to lose that Corsair, which was flying around on its own, by the way. But I think that was intentional. I think he was like saying, okay, well, I'm going to sacrifice this Corsair. I'm going to have plenty more. Sacrifice this 1 Corsair to try and get a scout on. I think that Corsair was maybe even looking for tech, but also maybe trying to see if there's a 3rd base up as well. So that might have been what was going on there, and so it's a worthy sacrifice for that Corsair to do so. And we do now see those drones transferring over to a third base, in fact. So GoRush looking to try to repeat game 1 in multiple ways, you know. In game 1, GoRush went for a kind of early. Let me go back actually. Reach went for the Forge expansion, right? And GoRush went for a huge economy and just overwhelmed Reach with a contain off of pretty low economy with the lurkers, and then into taking the map into having a billion units, right? Game 2, Reach goes for the early aggression, throws GoRush off, is able to take more of an advantage, right? And is able to win game 2. Game 3, Reach goes with the aggression again, but it looks like GoRush might have held it off a little bit better this time, in a way that he has been able to get his tech up a little bit quicker and be a little bit less distracted. And now he's looking to get another contain onto Reach here. And he does have Reach kind of contained at this point. The lurkers are there. Unclear if Reach has the observatory. We see the robotics facility, but we do not see the observatory yet. Might be in his main somewhere. Nope, we're looking around for it. We do not see the observatory, so that means he's going to be stuck in his base for at least a little while longer still. Also, no Templar tech right now, so stuck in his base for even longer because he won't even be able to cast Psystorms down onto the lurkers to get out of his base. A third evolution chamber going down. Whoa! So, yeah, I mean, basically, GoRush is going for... It looks like he's powering up into just the macro Zerg play now. Again, going to try and get a bunch of upgrades. Kind of crazy. He's actually going to get all 3 upgrades on his ground units. That's pretty crazy, pretty amazing. It's going to be fun to see that. He's going to have a lot of strong units out there. Basically, what we're looking at is Hydra Ling is probably what we're going to be looking at with, of course, lurkers. And then if he can get a 4th base into Ultralisks, and that's going to be very exciting. Reach already kind of has the answer brewing in making the Reaver tech. He'd skipped the Templar tech. Well, maybe not skipped, but has not gone for the Templar tech first. Instead, he's gone for the Reaver tech. So he's going to have some units that are capable of destroying the beef that is the beefy Ultralisk. What is that? That Reaver is really confused. Shuttle's going to save him from its confusion, though, luckily. Corsair's out on the map, venturing out, trying to do some scouting, trying to kill some Overlords. But it looks like he's lost a couple Corsairs in the process. Some of them have taken damage to Hydralisk fire, and he's forced to retreat there. He still does have 2 Stargates. If he wants to, he could theoretically rebuild. I don't think he needs to. I feel like at this point, you know, the Corsairs, I feel like it would be too costly for GoRush to go back into air. He actually has a lot of Scourge. Is he going to go back into Mutalisks? But going back into Mutalisks after investing in triple ground upgrades seems a little bit bonkers. It's not saying it's out of the question, but it doesn't seem like it's the most efficient use of his what he's built up, basically. So I think Reach is probably safe to not spend too much time or effort rebuilding that Corsair count up to a high number in fear of Mutalisks. I think building up the ground support with the Reavers and stuff is probably the better way to go. By the way, it looks like GoRush has a bottom left base at the sort of 630 position, and he's taking top left. So this is the window. This is the window right now. Reach has 2 bases. GoRush is getting 5. If Reach doesn't go and punish him for taking too much economy right now, then we're going to see a repeat of game 1, and GoRush is going to have too much stuff, and will take the late game. And here he is, trying to keep that contain up by running with Hydralisk to stop him up while he's in the choke point, but the Reavers are able to push them back out of that choke. So Reach is going to be able to push out slightly, and Reach knows that he needs to be very aggressive. You're looking at getting more gateways as well to go with the robotics facility, constantly producing the Reavers. He does have observers now as well, of course, so he can start pushing out there. We actually see 1-1 on the Hydralisk, so he didn't get +2 Carapace as quickly as what it looks like. But with those 3 evolution chambers, of course, he probably is getting 2-2 right now. 2-2-2, I guess I should say. And with those Reavers, that is beautiful. He can just pick off, with the observer, he can pick off those lurkers from afar. He's got plenty of Dragoons. Uh-oh, come on, VOD, catch up. There we go. He's got plenty of Dragoons to try and protect those Reavers. The Reavers are going to go down, but as he does so, he actually gets so close that the Reavers take some nice shots at the Hydralisk. But now with the Reavers gone, the Dragoons are forced to fall back into the choke point. Is the contain reestablished? Is Reach stuck in his base while GoRush populates those extra 2 new bases with drones? If so, GoRush is going to annihilate the late game with so much stuff. There's the Hive as well. What Hive tech is he getting is the question. We're looking around at his bases. We don't see any Hive tech yet. But he's just getting drones at that bottom base to get into the gas mine, actually. So he's only been mining 3 gases, I think, at this point. But he's going to be at 5 gases in a matter of moments. And then we're going to see him plant down probably the Ultra's Cavern. Possibly the Defiler Mound as well at the same time. But if I had to bet, I would say the Ultra's Cavern is probably what he's going to be going for, since he's been focusing on these ground upgrades so heavily. Reach is pushing out here. He's going to try and take this 3rd base. He has shifted now back into getting some Templar attack. He actually even preemptively made an Archon instead of trying to get some Storms off and then make the Archon with the used up Templar. He's just going to make an Archon. Just make sure he has a little bit more anti-air, because this is a point in time where it's late enough into the game that the Zerg could make a tech switch into the air units. Dragoons, you know, they technically fire upwards, but they're still not very great anti-air, especially when Zerglings are a unit as well. So it's nice to have that Archon around. Archons are, of course, good against Zerglings as well. Oh my gosh, so many forces coming in here from the top and the side, trying to corner the forces of Reach. The Reaver goes down very quickly, but it does have some Psy Storms as well. But it doesn't matter. He does not have enough AoE. The Reaver was by itself. The Storms were not sufficient. The Storms only killing off the first wave. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th waves coming in almost on the back of the first one. And now he's actually barreling right down into the choke point. If he overruns this position, Reach will not have anything left. And he has overrun it. Reach not looking happy at all. We're going to see a GG here very soon. He has nothing left. He needs, I mean, if he had a couple Storms in the bank and a few Zealots hanging around behind the lines that he could send in, he might be able to hold this off. But there's too much stuff. The Templar are popping out, but they don't have energy yet. He's trying to hide his Templar behind the buildings for long enough that they can get the energy for a Psy Storm and maybe try and clean this up when he's only lost a few buildings. But the look of sadness on Reach's face, I think, tells us that the chances of that are very, very low. The Cracklings are demolishing the buildings faster than any Terran piece of machinery could, and Reach is going to lose this game, unfortunately. The hero Protoss is going to be going down to, not the villain Zerg, but he's going to be going down. He's going to be taken out here, ladies and gentlemen, and I think we're seeing him type GG there. Yeah, there's the GG. Coming from Reach. Man, that is too bad. Too bad. I mean, I'm a GoRush fan as well, so it's not too bad for him. But it's kind of would have been nice to have a Protoss still in it. But he's gonna go down, and so it's gonna be an all TV. Is it gonna be? Yeah, it's an all TVZ semifinal. We're gonna have Good Friend versus GoRush now in the semifinal, and then the winner of that's going to be facing in the finals the other semifinal winner of Zelos versus July Zerg, and that's going to be a fun series as well. Man, we got 2 epic Terran versus Zerg series coming up, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Hope you're all looking forward to it as well. Thank you very much for watching. GG.